News here at CNN News 18. You're watching Breaking News. It's right here that we cover all of the country's top breaking news stories. Our first story takes us to Uttar Pradesh, where we're bringing you news. Remember, over the last few weeks, there's been much controversy over a survey announced by the government of unrecognized private madrassas in Uttar Pradesh. You'd had a number of opposition parties say that those surveys were being used to target Muslim minorities in the state. Now the Yogi government has almost upped the ante. They're gearing up for a survey of Waqf properties in the state. The UP government is planning to take back the government and public property that has gone to the Waqf over the years, according to this. The government has even struck down an earlier order that was issued in 1989, according to which barren or non-agricultural land could be transferred to the Waqf for Eidgah. Now, a time of 1 month has been given to district DMs, to authorities to prepare this report. The opposition is once again hating out at the Yogi Adityanath government. They're saying that they are targeting those from the Muslim community. Now, I want to walk you through one reaction the story's already got. Then we'll connect with my colleague on the ground for more details.
अभी तक तो आप ये कहा जा रहा था छोटी एनआरसी, लेकिन अब आप तैयारी में है बड़ी एनआरसी की। सच्चाई ये है कि आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ मुसलमानों को परेशान कर रहे हैं। मुसलमानों की प्रॉपर्टीज की जांच, वक्फ की जांच, मदरसों की जांच, एक तरफा कार्रवाई। मैं मुख्यमंत्री जी से पूछ रहा हूं कि बहुत बड़े बड़े धर्मशालाओं के ट्रस्ट हैं, मंदिरों के ट्रस्ट हैं, इनकी जांच क्यों नहीं हो रही है?
All right, let's go over to Uttar Pradesh Bureau Chief Pranshu Mishra now for a lot more context on this story. Pranshu, good morning. Pranshu, according to some of the reports that I'm finding, it seems that there are about 1.6 lakh Waqf properties scattered across Uttar Pradesh. Could you bring our audiences more context as to what the Yogi Adityanath government is trying to bring into place, and then walk us through the ground reactions to these plans?
Yes, good morning, Toya. In fact, you're right. There's more than 1.5 lakh Waqf properties across the state of Uttar Pradesh. Now, see, there has been an increasing debate going on over the entire Waqf Act. And in fact, we have also got reports from places like Kerala and elsewhere that where some objections have been raised on how Waqf have got certain properties. Now, what has happened in Uttar Pradesh is that in 1989, there was an act during the then Congress government that was passed, which has paved the way for transferring the government land to the properties of Waqf or to the Waqf boards which are active across district of Uttar Pradesh. The condition was that such land should be a barren land, a non-agricultural land, and if it is a public or a government land and was being used by any of the the Muslim bodies, for example the Eidgah or the Qabristan, it was subsequently transferred to the Waqf board. Now what the government wants to do is that in stage 1 it has already nullified that 1989 act via which the public properties could be the part of the Waqf. Now the government wants to do a survey across the state, and therefore a letter has been sent to the commissioners and also the district magistrates to do a survey of Waqf properties and come out with a list of government properties or the public land which is now the part of various Waqf. Now out of 1.5 lakh the properties which we are talking about, many of them are of course the private entities. So private people, various families, individuals over the years have transferred their land with a religious purpose to the various Waqf boards. But now the question is that why the government is doing this survey about the public land or the government land. Does it want to take back? Officially it has not been said so, but the intent could be very much the same, and that's the reason why we are already seeing that opposition like AIMIM is already calling it as a bigger NRC. We need to get a more reaction, more clarification coming in from the government. Today, of course, is the ongoing assembly session of UP Vidhan Sabha. I am right now inside Vidhan Sabha only, and we do hope that in the course of the day, there would be more clarification made by the government on this account. But whatever I have spoken to the people, the ministers on the phone is that they say that there is nothing to be alarmed. We are just trying to ensure that if priceless government land has been wrongly usurped in the name of Waqf property, that land of course should be returned back to the government, because now it's priceless land, and we'll have to see how this unfolds on. But clearly the Muslim community is going to react harshly to it, because when the property matters are involved, clearly it also serves a lot many personal interests, especially of the people those who are presently using these properties in the garb of being a Waqf land.
Pranshu, just stay with us. I want to return to you in a second. Right now, we have Anila Singh from the BJP with us. Ma'am, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us here on CNN. Ma'am, I just want to understand from you this move that's come in from the Yogi Adityanath government. We just spoke to our reporter. We had him explain to our audiences what the government is saying is the advantage or the need for such a move. But Ms. Singh, I want to ask you, this is a government that over the last few weeks has already faced much protest over their previous move around madrasas. You had opposition groups, you had Muslim communities on the ground coming forward and saying that they felt as if they were being targeted. In the light of that, don't you think that this move shows poor form?
My Ram Ram to everyone. And you're talking about the Waqf property?
Absolutely.
See, there is one thing. First, if you talk about the madrasas, then definitely it is such a positive move towards the children of Muslim community. And now the Maulanas, even they themselves are saying, no, it is a positive move from the government. Surveys are being conducted to see that whether the madrasa is impaneled or not, whether children are getting right education, right atmosphere, because right atmosphere, right education is going to make them good, healthy citizens, progressive citizens, educated citizens, which this country wants. So now they have started realizing. And if we talk about Waqf property, I can say for sure this is so unfair act. It is so unfair act. And there are many properties, government properties, which are being encouraged by Waqf board. So this is a high time. Because this government, Yogi government, especially if I talk about, is not into appeasement politics. So if government property is being encouraged by Waqf board, they have to vacate it because that property has to be utilized for some public welfare program, whether school, college, or hospitals, whatever, community center, whatever.
Ms. Singh,
So
can I just ask? Can I just ask that you stay with us for a second, because we have Fakrul Chand from the Samajwadi Party. I'd like to now go over to him to ask him. सर, यूपी गवर्नमेंट का ये जो मूव है, इस पे सर आपकी क्या प्रतिक्रिया है? और अनिला सिंह भाजपा से हैं, हम उनसे भी बात कर रहे थे. उनका ये कहना था कि गवर्नमेंट प्रॉपर्टीज इंक्रोच हो रहे हैं वक्फ ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस से, उनसे उन्हें बचाना है. आपकी इस पे क्या प्रतिक्रिया है सर?
देखिए, वक्फ बोर्ड में चेयरमैन जो होता है वो सरकार एक प्रक्रिया है जिसके बाद वो बनता है, और जितनी भी संपत्ति है वो कहीं ना कहीं रिकॉर्ड पे है. वो सरकारी रिकॉर्ड पे भी है कि कौन सी संपत्ति वक्फ बोर्ड की है. सुन्नी वक्फ बोर्ड अलग है, शिया वक्फ बोर्ड अलग है, और सबकी जो संपत्ति है वो मैं समझता हूँ कि पहले से ही सरकार जानती है. वो पूरे सबके, आप कहीं किसी भी जिले चले जाइए पूरे प्रदेश में, सबको वो चिन्हित है पहले से कि ये वक्फ बोर्ड की संपत्ति है. कहीं अगर कोई अतिक्रमण है या तो वो भी जानकारी उनको पहले से ही है. हाँ, मैं समझता हूँ कि इसमें सरकार की जो नीयत है उससे बड़ा सवाल है कि सरकार आखिर कभी मदरसों का सर्वे करना चाहती है, कभी वक्फ बोर्ड की संपत्ति देखना चाहती है कहाँ है. तो ये जो मुख्य मुद्दे हैं उनसे लोगों का ध्यान हटाना चाहती है. इसके अलावा कोई और दूसरी कोई एक्सरसाइज ये नहीं है, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से उत्तर प्रदेश की कानून व्यवस्था है, थानों में बलात्कार हो रहे हैं, माँ बहन बेटियां उत्तर प्रदेश में सुरक्षित नहीं है, नौजवान आज रोजगार के लिए सड़क पे घूम रहा है. आज कहीं देखिए कि इलाहाबाद में जिस तरीके से नौजवान धरने पे बैठे हुए फीस वृद्धि के खिलाफ, उनकी सुनी नहीं जा रही है. वो
फखरुचंद जी, सर हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए एक सेकंड, बिकॉज